Stugotz, I'd like to make an edict here. I want to be the joy police. I want to eradicate something from the Twitter sphere that athletes like to do when, for example, the Deshaun Watson news breaks and Myles Garrett and Patrick Mahomes are going to Twitter and all they're giving us in terms of opinion is eyeball emojis. Can I get a second here on eradicating this from the social media sphere? I want your actual opinion, Patrick Mahomes. I want your actual opinion, Myles Garrett. I don't want you to make me interpret the eyeball emoji.
I think the eyeball emoji, as Chris Cody points out, is because they signed Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
It was at the same time. It was kind of a news dump. And now Bougie has to move to Kansas City. His girlfriend, Portia from Pittsburgh, is still in Pittsburgh. It's kind of devastating news, yeah.
Whittingham, why are you making all sorts of noises?
Because, I mean, the eyeball emoji is just, I know something that you don't, and I'm going to tell you that I know something and you don't. It's not helpful. It doesn't tell anybody anything. Something's coming, so people start guessing. It's the worst. Like, who gets anything out of eyeball emojis in the audience?
I have a good idea. Yeah. We should all tweet eyeball emojis right now.
Yeah.
Oh, see what our fans
but I actually know something.
How do I do that?
I actually know something.
What do you know?
MRE?
Wait, what? Yeah, there you go.
MRE. How do I?
This is great for the podcast.
How do I do that? Is what Stugotz just
Can't tell you.
Are we doing it? Are we doing
Yeah.
it?
Hold on.
I did it. I
Do we
sent it.
okay, hang on a second. Do we have something?
I'm putting
I
it.
sent
No,
it.
I know. Not gonna tell you, but I know.
I sent it.
Oh, no.
How many did you send out?
I'm not participating.
I sent out
Eyeball.
4.
Oh,
Bullshit!
Yeah.
Bullshit!
Yeah, that's what happens when you really know something. But you can't tell. I can't tell you.
again with this. Oh, I know something, but I can't tell you. Bullshit.
Can't tell you.
I just I went to Twitter to start to do this, where it was revealed that I saw someone tweeting DK Sportsbook. I don't know who Dan LeBatard is, but his parlays really suck. And then DK Sportsbook just no commenting.
Yeah, the parlay didn't work out. We wanted to put out a parlay for the haters, and unfortunately, go Canes.
I think it's a good idea moving forward, though, because our fans like to see us suffer. Like, people were texting me last night when Notre Dame lost to Texas Tech, like, you good, Jess? No, I'm pissed. That game sucked, and there was bad officiating, and Notre Dame, who I didn't have any expectations for, suddenly they make it through the first round, and I'm like, now we got to get in the Sweet 16. My life depends on it.
Yeah.
And if you bet on the DK hater parlay, I think you would have won that game, right? Because Notre Dame was part of it.
Yeah.
People root against
Why are
them.
we doing it
But then
that way?
Miami
What is
won,
that?
so you
I
would've
hate
lost
it.
the
That's
parlay.
not
because
we went 0-4 with our parlays this weekend, and the dumbest one was the hater parlay of just choosing the teams that were playing against Miami, against Notre Dame, and the under.
I like the idea of that guy like legitimately thinking that these were gambling insights. Hey, DraftKings has this LeBatard thing. I think this might be the one. I'm going to put down some money.
The Thursday one I was trying. Everything else is just, we're here for jokes,
We were
not gambling.
We were first Miami game. We had Miami at the half, Miami to win the game, and we needed the over, and we were 4 points from the over.
I think of our show on a scale. On one side, very entertaining. On the other side, a lot of sports analysis.
Speaking of which, time now for the F1 minute that has no imaging whatsoever because, or do we have imaging? Mike's making a face like if we have imaging
You
all of a
forget
sudden.
already. Man,
That's
the
a
offseason
fun.
hasn't been that long. Wow. 7 seconds ago? I got to text Kyle Brandt. See if he knows what I know.
Kyle Brandt's text. This is a big. Maybe he knows something. Fine. Tell me when we're ready to start the timer. I'm not in good form right now. I'm a little nervous, but I have some notes.
Off-season testing hasn't gone well.
Off-season testing has not gone well. I did practice this last night.
You
I
did?
only had 1 sip of cafecito this morning.
Lot to get to?
You practiced?
I was just like, I don't know how long this is. If this is like 3 minutes worth of material, and I have to say it in a minute, like I'm just setting myself up for failure.
I'm impressed, though.
This is my favorite bed out of all the production.
It's a great bed.
This bed
It
is
is
amazing.
I wish Amin Knows Basketball was on that instrumental.
Maybe Amin Knows F1 is up next.
Oh.
Tell me when the clock is starting, and I'll go.
It started 30 seconds ago.
No, that's not fair. Start it over. Actually, are we doing a Guy Fieri 1, 2, 3, go? All right.
Wait for the beat to drop.
Started
All right,
45
I'll start when the
seconds
beat
ago.
drops.
This has got a little space age in it. What is it? I feel like Duchovny, a little X-Files.
I saw
A
David.
little basketball Illuminati, perhaps?
You saw Duchovny?
I saw David Duchovny over the weekend.
What?
Yeah, rocking out, 61 years old.
Wow, looks
Singing.
great, right?
Was that the eyeballs thing or no?
Possibly.
Was he at the Innings Fest?
Yeah, he played. Let's just start this bet
When do
over,
we
yeah?
start?
Time.
Time's up. Too bad. You missed
Good
out.
segment.
Good
Great segment,
but time is
That's not
unfortunately
fair. I'm
up.
doing it
and
again.
there's
I'm going
no
to talk
time.
over all of you.
The Raiders have signed Devonte Adams. Devonte Adams.
Are they for real?
I can't believe, Stugotz, that Aaron Rodgers signed off on that.
I'm not going to give you a Chris Berman Raiders for that.
Did Aaron Rodgers
Start the bet over, Mike.
sign off on Devonte Adams?
There's all new cars this season. There's bigger tires. There's crazy side pods. There's new rules. Mercedes cars are ready yet, but we're out of time. It's Saturday. It's quali. Daniel Ricciardo's out in Q1. He had COVID last week. Sebastian Vettel has COVID right now. Nico Hulkenberg is in, and Kevin Magnussen is back in the grid for Haas. FIA released a report on the Abu Dhabi GP. There's human error. Michael Massey sacked. Q3, Charles Leclerc is on pole, and it's lights out and away we go in Bahrain. Leclerc and Verstappen are dueling. Leclerc is in lead. No, Verstappen's in lead. No, Leclerc's in lead. There's 5 lead changes. Leclerc is comfortably winning the GP. There's 7 laps to go. But wait, a safety car? Restart. Verstappen's trying to overtake Leclerc, but he loses power. Verstappen is out. No points for Verstappen. The lead is Leclerc, Sainz, Perez. But wait, Perez loses power too. Perez is out. Red Bull is out of the Bahrain Grand Prix. But who is behind Perez? By God, is that Lewis Hamilton's music? With 1 lap to go, Lewis Hamilton takes third. The Haas is in fifth. A Viking comeback for Magnussen. Leclerc, Sainz, and Hamilton across the finish. A 1-2 finish for Ferrari. Mamma mia, Ferrari is back. Charles Leclerc is your winner. And a very happy belated birthday to Mike Crack.
I'm sorry, what?
Wow.
Mike Crack.
Your crack?
One in the sink.
Watch out for the T-Wolves.
What a segment.
No, here come the T-Wolves.
Here come the T-Wolves.
Damn it.
Practice makes perfect.
Some people go to school for this.
Here come the T-Wolves.
It was Mike Crack's birthday, Dan. He's the team principal at Aston Martin.
Thank you. I met someone yesterday at Highlight who listens to the show at 3.0 speed.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
And said the only 2 things that he can't listen to around here at that speed are Jessica's F1 Minute and just generally Adnan Verk.
He's already there.
Did Aaron Rodgers sign off on that? Do you
He
think?
had to. I mean, I would imagine, right? Part of
On
the
my
deal.
F1 minute?
Part of the deal of him returning to the Packers, I would imagine, is Aaron Rodgers signing off on every deal, right? On every move they make. So
I enjoy this coming from Stugotz. I was listening to the show over the weekend from the days that I was out. Stugotz goes, there's no way that Aaron Rodgers agreed to come back without Devonte Adams having a thing in place to come back.
I did say that, yeah. I think in the same sentence I also said, but there's no way he didn't sign off on this, which is just, it's crazy.
Cover all your bases.
Like, what is happening there?
The reporting is that as they were negotiating, he knew Devonte Adams was out. So this happened with his knowledge. Whether it's his consent or not is a different story. But he knew as he was negotiating his deal that Devonte Adams was out.
I don't think that Aaron Rodgers would consent to losing his number 1 receiver, which makes me wonder whether or not this would be against his will. I don't know why Aaron Rodgers would need a few extra $1 million if he thought it was going to hurt his ability. If he wants Randall Cobb to be there because of the timing and the precision they have, and I can make the argument along with Stafford and Cooper Kupp that you're going to have very few people in the history of the league who have the connection those 2 people have, where you know every game that Devonte Adams is going to be thrown to every time, and they're so precise at it that Devonte Adams is going to have 9 catches a game. You're never going to be able to hold him for 1 catch to 11 yards. It's just never going to happen.
I kind of thought of it from Devonte Adams' standpoint, where do you want to keep guessing whether or not he didn't want to be franchise tagged, he wanted a long-term deal, and do you want to keep guessing if Aaron Rodgers is going to come back and continue to play, you know?
I read that this was about wanting to play for the Raiders, which is kind of odd because they don't have the roots in Las Vegas, but Green Bay had more money to offer. And he ended up going to the Raiders for, I think, the largest guaranteed contract that went to a non-quarterback. But it was about playing with the Raiders. It was about reuniting with Derek Carr, and Aaron Rodgers absolutely knew about this the entire time. The Packers offered what they could, which was more, and he still wanted to go to the Raiders.
Who's their number one receiver going to be? It's been a number of fat number 80s and Lazard.
Oh, you're talking about the because I still think Renfro is going to put up the numbers with the Vegas Raiders. But look, it's a great draft class. They have some draft capital now. You got to assume at least one of those first-round picks are going to one of these highly touted wide receivers. There's a lot of people much smarter than I with scouting backgrounds that say this is an incredible draft for wide receivers.
They have 2 1s, 2 2s. So I think they have 4 in the top 60. So they can package and trade up to get someone.
And do you guys believe, because as long as I've ever been around here, was making the argument that Devonte Adams early in the league was not a number one receiver and was barely a professional receiver with the amount that he dropped the ball. Can you guys give me a lot of other combinations that you think were as good as the chemistry of that combination? Because I think Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, but there are very few that I have for you where I'm like, you can't break up those two. Those two have the secret potion that Brady and Gronk have, which is it doesn't matter if you know it's coming. You simply cannot stop this.
Burrow and Chase. Right?
If we're doing recent, then you better put Kupp and Stafford.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's good.
Chase those Stugotz will give you a 3 catches, 30-yard game that you just never see.
Yep.
You never see from Devonte Adams. Like when you're betting over-unders on a Devonte Adams catches, it's always 7.5, 8.5. It's some ridiculous number.
We've talked about this on the show before, but I watch that final attempt from the Bengals on Twitter every once in a while, and to see how Chase absolutely cooked Jalen Ramsey and how Aaron Donald and that pressure got to Joe Burrow just in time because Chase absolutely cooked his assignment, and it needed one more split second to change NFL history. Can you imagine if that game ended that way? If Burrow was able to get off that pass, incredible.
I don't know, Stugotz, what Aaron Rodgers wants from a number one receiver, but do you think you can just plug in?
I think he thinks that, yes. I think he thinks I can make anyone Devonte Adams. Maybe not that great, but pretty damn good.
Okay, but I'm talking about the chemistry between two people who have worked together. Kupp, you mentioned Kupp and Stafford. They say they estimated that they did an extra 500 hours beyond what it is that was required of them in practice, of just making sure this is the spot I'm going to throw it to on this route every single time, and you just dive to your left and there will be no one who can guard it. You can't just draft a guy and have him be that immediately, can you? When they've got 10 years, they got damn near 10 years of throwing the ball to
your
each
point,
other.
Devonte Adams himself, who many would call the best wide receiver in the league, didn't become that guy overnight. It took him a couple of seasons to get the hang of it. I understand the cockiness that Aaron Rodgers brings to the position. He may be like, I can take whatever rookie that we get and turn him into Jordy Nelson, Devonte Adams, but that's a real high ceiling.
Chase and Jefferson are the 2 most recent. Normally, wide receivers struggle for the first couple of years. Those 2 were good.
Usually,
and they were
like
good
year
right
3,
away. Right, they were good right away.
But again, you guys are saying receivers who struggle. I'm talking about, because Randy Moss ran nothing but go routes his first year, couldn't run anything. I'm talking about the precision at the very top of the food chain. I'm not talking about a guy who's athletic and getting him.
You're talking about the timing.
You're there game 1, and I know on 3rd and 6 that you're going to run 6.5 yards to that spot, and I'm going to throw it to you because we've had a training camp to rehearse it versus 10 years?
I think he thinks he's that great. He probably is. I also think that he thinks, Stan, that he can make something like Julio Jones really, really good again. Like I do. Like, hey, let him go. Get me Julio Jones on the cheap, and I'll make him great again.
But I thought that this was the organization that failed Aaron Rodgers. And that part of why he wanted to go is that they drafted his replacement instead of getting him skill position talent. Like, this is the guy who wanted Randall Cobb back because that represented familiarity. It doesn't make sense to me that he would have this massive power play over 2 years and it would end with him starting over again with receiving targets. And like, if you think about what Brady did, like, Brady left New England because they stopped getting him pieces. And he went to Tampa where he's got like 6 of them. And that helped continue his career even longer than it probably should have.
It's an odd choice, Stugotz, to have surprised all of us, right? Because when that fell, I think the reaction from everybody was like, whoa, where'd that come from? How do the Raiders get in that game?
I mean, they told us though. The Raiders, it was well known that if he leaves Green Bay, it's a reunite with David Carr, and they told us this was the last dance. Only one of them. Only one of them actually kept their word on it, and it was actually Devonte Adams, who took less money, as it's being reported, to go with the Raiders.
So fine.
Who are you finding?
Amin, I believe.
No. Amin called him.
Someone said something.
Well, you just sent a fine in a general direction.
I
You
was
just
looking at something, but
requested
someone's
money.
fined. Yeah.
Okay, you were
My
looking
pocket,
at something.
please.
What? You were looking at something.
Tone issues, fine.
Box score.
I see him. He's actually getting caught in the trap of all the eye emojis on Twitter. He's
I
trying to
really
figure
am.
out what it
I
means.
am. They're looking back at me.
Billy,
I sent one out though.
you have developed a bit of a kinship here with the corner of the room over there. And you say that Luis is no longer the same as he was before Austin. Why is he no longer the same?
I don't know. He's an amargado now. Every day he's grumpy. Every day he's trying to pick fights with everyone. I don't know what's going on with him. And I've traced it back to when we had barbecue, but I don't know what's going on with him. Try to get him to do things. Hey, Dandy Bear's closing. You want to go to Dandy Bear? Let's take our kids together to Dandy Bear before it closes this weekend.
Oh, it's devastating.
Doesn't want to do that. Doesn't want to do anything. Doesn't want to go to Puerto Rico with me.
Dandy Bear is closing. Why are you going? Why are you planning a Puerto Rican vacation with him?
Well, no, with anyone that wants to
exciting.
come.
Yeah, Doha. I'm with Billy on this one, Dan. We're going to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's Anthony, by the way. I don't know what he's doing here.
You guys are going to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, you want to come?
You guys want to come?
Yeah.
Daddy Yankee announced he's retiring,
Yep.
and there's no date yet set for Puerto Rico, but
Put it
we
in the
know
calendar,
that that's when it's going to be, is the one you want to go to, is the show in Puerto Rico. So anyone who wants to come with us to see Daddy Yankee retire in Puerto Rico is more than welcome to come.
This is what you said. You think Bad Bunny will be there.
Oh, I think everybody's going to be
Yeah,
there.
Nicky
Bad
Jam will be
Bunny's
there.
there.
Jam
there.
for sure.
Everyone will be there.
Evie Queen.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Nicky
La
Jam
Caballota.
has the hairline tattooed on his head.
Tony plays
100%.
basketball with him.
I mean, I'm not here to. I don't know anything. I've
100%.
never heard of anybody. I don't talk to anybody. I have no idea about anything.
That's my boy.
But I will say, the hairline, a little suspicious.
really?
It's tattooed on. I hear that
It
doesn't
is.
come out good. I may have been assing around.
Mike,
That's what my eye
Mike.
emojis mean.
Mike, do you get the Instagram targeted ad about it?
It's so bad. I never feel more washed than when I go to Instagram.
Dude, I look at all of those before and afters. I watch the videos. I'm like, man, maybe.
Everything
what?
is about recapturing my youth.
I ended up on hair growth TikTok over the weekend, and now I'm realizing it's because you've been getting ads on your Instagram. So now it's getting in my algorithm. It's a lot. It's these people who they put the glue on the head, and then they
that's-
put the hair over
Oh, that's
it.
fun. That's fun.
And then they give
The
a really
Gene
good
Katie.
haircut.
Yeah. Hair transplants are getting a lot better.
No, but that's not a hair transplant. That's the unit. No one the unit is.
No, I can't do that.
It's
I
not a
can't glue my
permanent
head.
solution. I need a permanent
I
solution.
need something to fix this.
We're going to
Seems
Turkey, Mike.
uncomfortable,
Let's go to
right?
Turkey.
I want to go to Istanbul so bad.
Yeah, man.
I get Turkish travel a lot.
6K, everything, flight, hotel, everything included.
Really? You
Yeah.
banked it out already?
Oh boy, have I?
Are we going to Turkey or Puerto Rico?
Joe Buck finally figured it out. Joe Buck finally figured it out after years of trial and error. It almost killed him.
After getting addicted to hair transplant.
Almost ended his career.
But-
He's finally gotten it right because I saw him take off his sweaty mask singer mask and it still didn't look bad.
Joe Buck crawled so that we could fly. That's what Joe Buck and LeBron.
Fly to Istanbul.
They, exactly.
I did not know that Dandy Bear had closed. What happened?
Well, it's closing.
Yeah, it's closing Sunday
right.
if you want to go. Yeah, you want to
Live
do a?
show.
Yeah, I wish we had more time so we could do a live show from Dandy.
Why
Bear.
did you go with Billy, Dan? I mean,
we can go together, Stugotz, you and me and Billy.
I'm not going anywhere.
What is Dandy Bear?
Oh, it's like
It used to-
Discovery Zone.
It used to be Discovery Zone.
It's Miami
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Miami Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
So you could not catch me dead in Dandy Bear.
Why?
Kids.
No,
She
there's a
hates
good
kids.
chance we catch you
Kids.
dead in Dandy Bear.
That's the only way we
Bottom of
catch
the
you.
ball pit.
Yeah, bottom of the ball pit.
Ooh,
You
wait,
never
what
know
Better
what's
or
there.
worse
They're gonna-
experience the magic.
What do you think they're gonna do with all those tubes and ball pit now that we're talking?
What
in
if
the
we get
South?
all the balls and bring them here?
Yes. Can we have a ballroom here?
That
Ballroom.
That would be fun.
The other studio, yeah.
With a
ballroom.
little shoot,
Bring the
like
tubes,
the shoot
and then we could
slide.
put tubes together and then like
We'd be like
all the way
human
to the garage.
hamsters. Yeah. Yeah. Dan, you're in charge. You think
Instead-
it's a good idea?
Instead of sending people to the penalty box, you send them to the ball pit.
Yeah.
Oh, so much fun. I want to be sent there. I love a ball pit.
Yeah.
What do you imagine is hidden in the Dandy Bear ball pit in terms of infection and virus and general unseemliness.
COVID-23.
I don't believe that bringing those balls here is going to result in anything other than mass sickness.
Can I ask you a question? I don't know why I'm asking you, as if you have a background in this. But say I jump off of a 25-story building into a very deep ball pit.
You survive.
You're good.
Well, I will survive.
No.
Yeah.
100%.
Here's my next question.
He's fine, Chris.
Here's my next question.
Ball pit, though.
Yeah.
I'm not even so much worried about the impact. Maybe I should be more worried about it, but I actually think I'm going to survive that. Do I drown?
No.
In the ball pit.
No.
How deep
How
is
do
it?
I get up?
No,
I don't know. However
deep is
deep I
it?
land, because the ball pit will go all the way deep. Infinite depth.
You're done.
Wow, that's
It's however
terrifying.
deep I go.
Infinite.
Can you dig your way
But
out? Is what
Oh,
you're
that
saying.
sounds like
25
you're
stories?
going to suffocate under balls.
Let's say it's another 25 stories down after impact.
No,
in terms of
that's
ball pit.
excessive. It doesn't need to be that
Okay,
deep.
help me with
That's
this.
from 50 stories.
Yeah. You only got to go like 4 feet deep.
What
maybe.
is the highest? I've been told that if you do from a certain height on a bridge into water or whatnot, that there is a certain height where you will hit water and it'll be like hitting glass.
No.
Yeah, but this isn't the same. The ball pit has a lot more give because there's all the empty pockets
Then
in between.
water?
You throw a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
You gotta
all right.
break
Yeah, way
it.
more.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, I did my high school research paper on this on physics. It's called surface tension, Dan. So from a certain height, the surface tension on water makes it feel like concrete. There is a height that if you hit the water, you're gonna die. When it comes to
Tension.
a ball pit, tension.
Feel it in my palms.
When it comes to a ball pit, though, it's kind of like a grain silo. Right? You hear these stories of these country kids. They go play in the grain silo because it's fun. It's like a ball pit, except if you sink to the bottom, you can't swim back up because it's not like water because there's no surface tension for that. And so, yes, odds are if it's an infinite ball pit, you just keep falling throughout.
What if
Wow.
it's a big trampoline, but it's made of foam?
I believe that you should have chased your first instinct there instead of the one that was just a dead fish that you threw at us. And it's the general disgust that Jessica had on her face when she imagined someone dying that way in a grain silo. It sounds
Horrible.
truly
And please, Dan,
horrible.
there's no dead fish here. I've been making a mean laugh off air this entire
Yes.
segment.
Okay, but we're on air.
On air.
One and the same, Dan.
So the trampoline is made
Well
of
played.
foam, or you're like
It's
a
a
foam.
trampoline.
What's happening
so it's
here?
a trampoline made of foam, so it still has bounce, so you can bounce back up.
I
But
landed-
it's
Why is it made of
soft.
foam?
It's soft though.
You mean like the thing that stunt people fall
Yes,
on, like that
yes,
big
like,
inflatable?
exactly,
That's
yeah.
not at all a trampoline made of foam.
No, it's not.
I think it's just like an airbag.
I
Not
just
even
recently
close.
jumped into one of those foam pits.
Yeah,
I'm
those
sore.
those are scary too.
I don't like
I'm
the
sorry.
Oh,
foam
like at the
pits.
tumbling
No,
at the.
at this
Yeah.
baseball
Billy, have you
themed
been in
music
one of those?
festival that
Oh,
I
yeah.
went to. I jumped full spread into a foam pit. I'm very,
Oh
very sore.
wait,
Foam pits, the Coveney. I mean, what a blast
It
you
was,
had
it was
this
incredible.
weekend.
Oh, I saw David Eckstein.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
wait. So you got to live Stugotz's dream of changing the warning track into like a foam pit.
Yeah.
And then jump. How'd it go?
It was an incredible playground. There should be more 1990s themed baseball music festivals.
I want to go to that. I've wanted to go to the one in Phoenix for a while, or in Arizona. There's one near you. There's an innings fest during spring
Foo Fighters
training where
played
it's
at it.
like 90s music and Ryan Dempster.
He's always
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Dempster's always
I got
there.
David Duchovny rocking out in tight pants. You know, he's 61 years old. 61.
Did he make your? No, it's 70. Sorry.
No.
I was gonna say, did he make your list? And then I remembered.
It's a good thing you didn't
Jamie
say it.
Dixon
No,
did.
he's absolutely zaddy.
How was that? I would like to go. I'd like for our
nostalgia.
show to go to Innings Fest.
Who played with Fish?
All of us?
Was it like Fish?
No, this one was Green Day, like Incubus. It's very of a time. Jimmy Eat World.
Jimmy Eat
yeah,
World. They're from Arizona. Yeah.
311. Yeah, Mesa.
The one they did in Arizona, though, the Foo Fighters played.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Tame Impala.
Dave Grohl was there, or was it like the Foo Fighters minus Dave?
It
Grohl?
was Foo Fighters, Ryan Dempster, and Roger Clemens.
What's great is I love. Yeah, sure.
And Tim Raines, Rock Raines. How about that?
Foo Fighters is
Why was
fine.
Raines there?
But also Carlos Zambrano.
I would love that. I marked out when I saw David Eckstein. You wouldn't believe how happy it made
This
me.
is the festival for this show,
Right?
right? Like 90s baseball players.
Wait, hold on a sec. Clemens, Dave Stewart, the number one
Oh,
pitcher
wow.
for the A's,
Yeah.
right? Stu. Rick Sutcliffe, Tim Raines, Kenny Lofton, Johnny Gomes, Jim Abbott, Sean Casey, the mayor, Keith Falk, Tim Salmon,
We gotta go.
and Russ Ortiz.
we gotta go next
This is
year.
a real house.
They had a bunch of baseball activities. One was making a diving catch. The other one was just a radar gun to see what could. I saw someone throw 93 miles per hour of gas. You know how hard that is for a pedestrian? Just like a civilian. Yeah, it was. I topped that.
As opposed to driving.
Yeah.
Scooter.
Oh, I wish I could do that. I topped out at 65.
That's not bad.
No, I was ashamed of it though.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at LeBatard Show. When you roar back or rear back and throw the ball at the pitching radar machine and it comes up 65, are you ashamed?
I've always wanted to go out in the middle of a hurricane and throw a baseball with the wind, just to say that I threw the ball like 100 miles an hour.
We should do that at our hurricane party.
Yeah. Would that count? Or like if I were to go on a roller coaster, right? And as we're going down, just like throw it backwards as it's going down fast. Does that count?
You need a radar gun, though, at the same time.
Yeah.
It's on a roller coaster.
You
that
can
might
go
be
with
tough.
me, and then you'll get the radar, and I'll throw the ball.
I want to ride the roller coaster, too, though.
I don't know why.
No, yeah, you'll be in it.
I lied. My top speed was 58.
It's okay, Mike.
I went in there. I got a top 60. Got a top 60.
You brought it all the way back, didn't you?
I rarely feel more pathetic than when trying that, and also I am so bad at the hitting of the at the carnival, making the thing go up
to
and
the
hit
back.
the
Hammer. I am
That's
the worst at
That's
that.
a dangerous
Yes.
game.
Sledgehammer. I feel
Not
so
worth it.
confident.
No, especially if you would a date. Oh, my God.
Pull your back out.
I went
It's
into the
embarrassing, all
cage
of it.
where you throw the fastball, and I told myself, Mike, don't try to be a hero. You're not the same. And as soon as I saw like my first throw go 55, I'm like, I gotta put everything I can into topping 60.
Did you grunt?
I let it all out. It was nowhere near the strike zone. It was just about
Oh, it
topping
doesn't
out.
matter, right?
One of my favorite reality TV show things that has happened this year, Billy can attest to this, is in Love is Blind, where they sent all the men on a bachelor party to Wrigley Field. And one guy, they let them go in the batter's box and like swing at pitches at Wrigley Field. It was really cool. Like once in a lifetime opportunity, right? Bachelor party, reality show, big lights, bright stage, whatever. Bright stage, whatever. So anyways, this guy,
Don't let that
Shane,
stop you.
This guy, Shane, he goes up and he strikes out on 5 pitches, 0 for 5, like cannot make contact with the ball. And then all the other guys, like some of them had a base hit, some of them had like a grounder, like one of them had a pop-up. He's the only one who could not hit on any of these pitches. And then that night he goes home, gets in a huge fight with his fiance, and the next day she leaves him on the altar.
Goddamn right.
All because he struck out, I think. That's my theory.
Look, let me tell you something. What's the more dangerous?
Damn right.
What's the more dangerous game? The sledgehammer to hit the thing to hit the bell, or the little punching bag?
I
that
was
you see
just
at the-
going to say that. I can
Oh, that
never
comes
do
right
that
back in
well
your
either.
face?
The one that you have to punch as hard as you can.
Yeah.
I was thinking about between the three, which is the one that makes you feel most pathetic. When you try and throw the ball and it's 50 miles an hour, whether you try and hit the bell with the sledgehammer and it just farts and goes four inches in the air, or punch the speed bag with such force that the machine laughs at you because you've got no power behind it.
I had the first time I was there, partially responsible for the first time Chris Whittingham got drunk. It was for his 25th birthday. And 25th birthday was the first time he got inebriated, as he would say. And the last bar that we went to, they had one of those punching bag machines, and I kind of knew my audience. I was like, tell you what, I'll throw one punch, and I'll give you 10 tries to top it. And if you don't, the loser basically has to drink this shot of 151. I was just trying to put him over the edge.
Oh my God.
He didn't.
151.
He drank 151.
That was my second 151 of the night. by the way.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's just, it smells like pure gasoline. It just.
Did you puke?
Like I got buzzed from smelling it. It was
It
disgusting.
should come from the diesel nozzle at the
Right.
gas station.
I have to be honest though. I was
place.
pleased. I was like 11 shots in, and I think got some pretty decent punches away. It was one of those like you summon every bit of mental fortitude and energy and focus that you have to like give it a rip. And I thought I gave it a decent rip, but Mike far exceeded it. And that was the end. I got into an Uber. Thankfully, very helpful Uber had Motrin on him for some reason.
Oh, those are the best.
You took pills from an Uber driver?
I trusted the guy.
This is white privilege.
He said it was Motrin. And,
Two Americas.
Oh my god!
And I stepped on terra
Male
firma when I got
privilege.
back to my apartment
Jesus.
building, yacked into the bushes. That was the end of my night.
He said it was Motrin.
Yeah.
Mike, when you punched the thing, did you feel like Drago in Rocky IV?
Yeah.
It's 3,500 square feet per inch.
That's how I knew I was good at it. I watched Rocky IV a couple times.
Is there a fourth thing on this list of things because of these carnival games or where you just feel pathetic? Because I've done
The
what
ill-shaped basketball rim.
No, that one.
No,
No,
that's
no.
tough.
It-
That's
when you talk
rigged.
about male inadequacy, it's those three things right there: the punching bag, the sledgehammer thing, and then what was the third one?
It's a good question.
The hitting.
Exactly.
Oh,
pitching,
pitching. Pitching.
arm strength.
Right, because it's all this bravado. I think the worst one is the punching bag because it at some level says, "Yo, this guy can't fight." Like if you're terrible at that, no one's gonna be
Well, it's
afraid.
not
of you.
even can't fight. It's you're not strong.
Yeah.
You're and I don't think it the greater shame to me is that in my experience, none of these things get any better as you do them second, third, and fourth time. You just get tired and weaker. You're frustrated. You're like, I hit this in the wrong spot, but it doesn't go from he throws 58 and is embarrassed and is like, I'm gonna really do it this time, and then he throws 68. No, then it's 57 or 54. It's
You know
even
what
more
carny
pathetic.
game I love? Skee ball.
Skee ball's fun.
The best
Is that a
game.
carnival game though?
They have them at
I feel like it's an
carnivals.
arcade
They have them
game,
at, like,
though.
it's an
Game for me,
arcade game. They have them
It's
at
an
Dave and
arcade game,
Buster's.
yeah.
They probably have one at Dandy Bear.
Right.
The best.
What's the difference between arcade game and carny game?
A lot of overlap, I would agree.
Can we also use the word carny? I should ask this now in 2022. Is that a no?
Really?
I don't know. Small hands. I don't know.
We will move on to lighter things in a moment, Stugotz, but I would be remiss. I imagine this landed on you the same way that it landed on me this weekend. The news that John Clayton, the professor, one of the original information insiders, had passed away at 67 years old. I know you remember how helpful he was to our show at the very beginning and how much he loved football in a way that was kind of unreasonable. Had one of the more famous SportsCenter commercials that we've remembered and really developed like a personality, because I remember how much of his identity he got from the ability to do that job, because he cared, like Kirkshin and some of those others, cared about very little else other than his wife and reporting football news. So it was as is happening more and more around here these days, we are losing some pieces of not just our childhood anymore, but people who helped us with the first few days of this radio show by lending credibility to us a long time ago.
He was great. He didn't take himself very seriously. He's a Hall of Famer. He would joke around, but he had all the information, and I heard Mort's tribute to him over the weekend, which was fantastic and moving, and as Mort was doing that, I was thinking, wow, those two guys in particular, Mort and John Clayton, really helped us out at a time where we needed help because they gave us credibility.
They were very nice about lending their enthusiasms to the things that we were doing and their credibility. And, I mean, John Clayton was Schefter before Schefter.
Yes.
It was John Clayton and Mort on football. It was Peter Gammons on baseball before Kirkshin. And John Clayton was one of the original famous information guys, and furthermore, would have had a place here in the information age as these guys all become free agents this summer. The Windhorsts and the the Shams, all these guys, the Wojs that are able to make a very good career as people who broker in information. It was a bummer to hear of his passing.
The
obviously.
idea of TV insiders. He was one of the first to do that, to show that these beat writers that had good NFL sources or good sports sources within their leagues could become sort of rock star television personalities. We're talking about not exactly pre-internet, but pre-social media, NFL news being able to be easily found. You'd wait around for his ESPN News and Sports Center hits to see what the latest was going on.
It changed on a couple of fronts, though, right? Because ESPN was doing something that was knighting of unusual personalities in that he didn't have to be pretty or television friendly. His information was so good that it brought in an advent of, oh, you don't need the television person to have the perfect hair and the perfect speech pattern.
Just have the news and be right.
Just make sure that you're so credible that we're putting you on television, even though you don't look like a television person, because you're not a television person. You're a print person.
You know what I remember about him, though, which is unlike many of the newsbreakers of today, is that he did do opinion stuff. Remember, you used to do the thing with Sean Salisbury, the quarterback and the professor?
Yeah, that was really good.
That was him doing opinion.
Probably help influence a sort of first take, like odd couples, totally different opinions. Yeah, it's Sean Salisbury stuff. People forget about that. I'm glad you highlighted it.
Let's do the funniest thing here from the sports weekend.
Hey, people. Tell us what in the sport made you laugh hardest this weekend. It is a segment we call What Made You Laugh This Weekend. Ha ha ha!
Funniest thing from the sports weekend is presented by our friends at CBD MD.
Tony, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Dan, I don't think there's another answer other than Whitty saying penis on a live broadcast.
I can confirm that's also my funniest thing from the weekend.
It is a good one to choose from. It is not Whitty's choice. You are still filled with remorse, Whitty, now that we've done an entire show and we've been trying to soothe you up and tell you that you did nothing wrong. You're still feeling regret?
I'm feeling better about it. I think we're like 48.
Went high there.
I'm
feeling better about it.
We're 48 hours removed from it. I think this will, for lack of a better phrase, blow over. And I think I think I'll be fine. I didn't love the 24 hours. I was on legitimately 90 minutes sleep when I did that broadcast. I went home, I lied down, and I was like, I think I'm gonna regret this. Yeah. But I don't think I've gotten there yet.
I love it. I just love the idea of Whitty getting home, laying on his bed, looking up at his wall. It's just a funny visual of having some real self-reflection of should I have said penis? Should I have?
For my funniest thing, I'll go for Ed Orgeron and the face that he made at some college kids in Cabo. Apparently, the kids are doing the L sign at him behind him, and he shot them a look. Shirtless. Ed Orgeron, Cabo, was ready to some kids up.
Go.
Were they videotaping him without his permission as well?
Probably.
Yeah, don't do that to folks. You deserve whatever daggers Coach O gives you.
I think they turned it around, though, because then he was taking pictures with them, right? They were all friendly at the end.
O.
Yeah, he's Coach O, right. Exactly.
They were grilling, invited him back to the swamp, grilled gator meat. He was just wearing a green jacket and nothing else. Purple, I guess, and gold jacket. Billy, what was the funniest thing from the sports?
Winning the Masters.
I love those words together, Coach O and Cabo. Just good words, shirtless as well. Good words to have together.
That goes without saying. Though.
Yeah, I suppose it does. Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at LeBatard Show. Does it go without saying that if Coach O is in Cabo, he's shirtless? Billy, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Whitty's penis.
That seems to be the consensus here. Jessica, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Chris Whittingham saying penis.
Mike?
This happened on late Thursday, so I still think technically qualifies, but Carson Wentz's introductory press conference, he looked like a hot dog.
Stugotz, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Calvin Sampson, who I found out was the Houston coach over the weekend, was shirtless celebrating their...
Whoa.
I'm with Lewis on this.
I was choked up, man. I feel so good for Calvin Sampson that I was choked up in that moment.
$5.
That cannot be $5. That I almost died. Jesus.
Like Mike in a ball pit.
I mean, that's what you do to a man on his deathbed?
Grain silo.
Balls deep.
Here come the T-Wolves.
What happened there?
Went in the sink.
Why did you just say that?
I don't know, dude.
This is why I get accused of being one of the boys.
One in Rome. We're talking balls. I said deep.
Why are you
staring at me again?
counting singles over there?
I owe $5. You just find me $5.
$5
I'm not putting
over
6
here.
when I owe $5.
Put the $5 in here.
Here. Make sure it's fine, but if it's not, throw me one back.
Whittingham, what are you laughing about back there?
Lewis is trying to produce Stugotz. He apparently sent balls deep to Stugotz an hour ago on the Zoom chat.
Stugotz, how are you Ron Burgundy all of
I
a sudden?
got it. Listen, a window opened again. So the window was open
There was
the time
no window.
we were talking balls. I said deep.
Stugotz, you are now reading things that are an hour old. In Austin, you were reading things that were 12 minutes old. You are now just Ron Burgundy blurting random things that were in a Slack chat an hour ago.
It was a Chris Cody chant.
It was a similar conversation. Window was open then. It closed very quickly. Mike said something, I believe. I remember it. And then it just reopened. Tony agrees. Tony knows.
I mean, you're doing the kitty litter box thing of just spraying things all over the place. In Austin, you started a bleep you Chris Cody chant 12 minutes after we were talking about it because the information, you had just gotten the ability to communicate and you were getting information 12 minutes later. Do not tell me that you were holding on to that for an opening for an hour when I know you haven't even listened to the last hour of the show. You're just putting in bets and not paying attention to what we're doing.
Stugotz, it's like astronauts in a space station, right? Sometimes you miss it, but you got to wait for it to like go around the Earth. And then
what happened, right?
The window opens again.
I lucked out.
I get it.
Yeah.
You know,
came back full circle. Thank you, Amin, for understanding me.
I got your back.
Yeah.
Calipari losing was pretty funny. Losing to that team.
To St. Peter's. Yeah, man. Especially the guy that Danny Martinez said is going to be the Heat's two-way player in the year 2025. The man with the wispy mustache. I don't know what his name is, but he looks for sure like a Heat lifer.
Doug
5 years
Edbert from Bergen County, New Jersey.
What?
I love that you just quoted Danny Martinez.
Yeah, I know. Deep cut.
There's so many South Florida Danny Martinez's.
Oh.
we are replete with Danny Martinez's throughout our land.
The one who used to work for the Heat.
No, I know who you
We're
speak
balls
of.
deep in Danny Martinez's. Circle of life.
Oh, yeah.
Balls deep. It's enough of St. Peter's, though, right? I mean, it's fine getting to the Sweet 16,
No,
but don't
man.
ruin the Final Four.
Well, I don't know, man.
No.
Shaheen, man, I'm here for Shaheen Holloway. You heard what he said? They said how like they were physical or whatever. He's like, we are a physical team too. We got guys from New York and New Jersey. You think we're gonna walk in scared? Oh man, I got so hyped. I wanted to go put on a St. Peter's jersey and run through a wall for the guy.
When I lived in New York, I was afraid of everything. You walk outside and there's like a rat trying to eat you. Your landlord's trying to raise your rent. You fall in a pothole. That's the last time anyone ever sees you. New York's terrifying.